Hi, welcome to Relationship TV. I'm Dr. Tammy Nelson, and today we have a great guest, Jay Lappin. He's a family therapist. He's been a family therapist and a counselor, a social worker for 44 years. And frankly, he's one of the nicest people I've ever met. He's super popular in therapy land because he's really, really kind. And I know that for you, thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome.
I know that for you, one of the goals of your work with couples is, and I quote you, to get them to be kind to one another.
Yes.
And I love that idea of framing couples therapy as a way to teach people such a basic human skill to not complicate it with, a lot of interventions, but to really get people to talk to one another in a way that you would think they would have automatically just by being in a relationship. But do you want to say more about that?
Yeah, one of the ways I want to engage them is that they become partners in not so much against each other, but against the pattern that keeps them locked into this conflict that they may have. So it's like I imagine them like I'll tell them it's like you're on a seesaw and Jabba the Hutt is on the other end, big, greasy, nasty, and that's the pattern. And in order to unseat it, that they have to be both together to take on the pattern. So it's a way of externalizing what it is that's going on between them. And at least it gives them a bit of a visual, a Star Wars visual, so it's good.
It's very trendy.
Yes, trendy. So the next movie, hopefully, Jabba will come back for repeat appearance.
Spoiler alert.
I'm sorry.
No, that makes so much sense. So that you're really saying it takes two of them against their negative pattern. So they have to work together to fight.
Right, and they also have to take responsibility for themselves and maintain the pattern and changing it as well.
Yeah, then that makes a lot of sense. So can you tell us what it's like to be in your office and work with you? If I was, part of a couple, what would it be like to come to you as a therapist for couples therapy?
It would be, my first thing would be to make it as safe as possible so that I want people to feel that this is a place that they can talk about things that are deeper, harder, and do it in a way that that partner can hear it. So it's not just having a conversation. It's how, if I'm your Bruce, then I have to say it in a way that you can hear it. So it's not so much giving instructions on how to do it, but trusting that they have that inherent capacity in themselves to say it. So you just have to create a context where they can hear it, and on your side it would be helping me to say that in a way that is connecting.
So you really help people communicate in a way that not only they can be heard, but in a way that they feel empowered to be able to say it to their partner.
Yeah, and also I do my best to have them create a boundary around the couple. So you'd asked about interventions, and this is just like a weird intervention. I don't even know. I think I just made this up. But the Heisman Trophy where the guy's got the football and his arm is like this. So this isn't all couples get the Heisman maneuver, but I'll say that they one of the things that happens with couples when they have especially little kids is the kid will come and go ma, 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 and just pester. And a lot of times what will happen is the parent will turn or the father will turn, and it ends the connection between the couple. So I want them to conspire against their children, which sounds terrible when I say it out loud, but so that it would be like the kids would come to you and say, Ma, and you would say, just a minute, I need to finish talking to Daddy. So we would talk, and then I'll tell them to make something up that it's like just this outrageous lie between them so that they're fabricating something, whatever that could be. It could be, there was a great sale on drapes. And I'm going, oh my God, that's wonderful. Did you get the print or are you going for the paisley? But the point is that the kid has to wait a little bit and tolerate that ambiguity of not getting what they want right away. And it also strengthens the bond between the couple. So it's just a little thing if I can get them to start conspiring with one another instead of against each other.
Oh, I like that. So the partner's like the football, and then they turn away from, keep the kid at bay, so they feel like they can connect as a team.
Yeah, and also the kids...
I'm trying to get the sports metaphor here.
Yeah, I know nothing about sports, but I just had this image of the guy like this.
Yeah.
So it's something that's also a little bit light and fun. So you can't do it with everybody. Obviously, you have to decide which couple can handle that kind of humor. So it's fun, and humor also has to be a part of it, to be able to have that perspective to laugh at oneself And that seems to help too.
As the therapist or as the couple or both? Everybody.
Yeah, it's a good session when everybody's laughing, that you've done well. Of course, you may not have helped them at all, but you'll have a great time.
So you might not have helped anybody, but it's a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it makes total sense. So what is one thing that you might tell couples therapists as advice? I mean, you've been doing this for so long, something that just one thing you might leave them with beside the Heisman thing, which is great.
Right, this is good. I think one of the things is this isn't always true, so this isn't always, but many times it's true that we marry our twin, so that sometimes people come in and you think, oh, he's the stinker, or she's the stinker, and the other one's this, has halos and auras and stuff, and just looks wonderful. And then as time progresses and you get deeper into the session, you see, aha, they are twins. There's a way in which they outsource part of themselves to the other. And
they outsource part of themselves. That's a great line.
So they get stuck in that, and it's like taking back that responsibility. If we had more time, I would teach you the secret formula to life that I also teach.
Wait, we don't get the secret formula to life?
Not on this issue.
Oh, so I will have to have you back.
Yes, that's the tease.
It's a teaser.
So it's so that they really feel that they can own a piece of it and have some say in it. That it's not just this person is bad or they're not hearing me, but to understand that that's in a relational context.
So it's a twin thing is what you mean, that you're really learning that there's not a bad guy and a good guy, that they outsource parts of themselves to the other. And so eventually you learn as the couples therapist not to align with one or the other.
Well, there may be times, like if there's incidences of like verbal abuse, physical, there's times when, yes, you have to do that, and it's for the welfare of the children, the couple, and so forth. So, yes, you have to do an assessment and get a sense of that, but by and large, that's the point of departure, I would say, to start there, and then just let's see what we can do to keep these people in treatment. You want them coming back, that's also important.
You want to keep them coming.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you're one of those couples, or any couple out there who might be watching, what is a piece of advice that you might give them to keep their relationship strong, to keep it working?
Can I quote research? Can I do that?
You may.
Sorry, just checking.
As long as it's real and you didn't make it up.
Oh, never mind. No, it's Gottman stuff about bids, I think, is good. And it's just like and I got this from a friend, Peter Frankel, about under 60 seconds and less than $1. So that if you were to give a bid to your partner...
Can you say what a bid means?
Oh, a bid is how we connect. So let's say I say, gosh, that's a great necklace. So I'm making a bid to connect with you, and you say, oh, thank you, Jay. So then you've turned toward me. If I say, that's a great necklace, and you say, God, isn't it sunny out today? It's a great day. Then you've turned away from me. And then if I say, gorgeous necklace, and you go, it's only the 5th time I've worn it. So then you've turned against me. So out of those three, obviously you want the one turning toward, and you want this more robust response. So it's a very simple concept, and it's one that people can do. And Pete Frankel, who passed this along to me, it's great because people can't say, I don't have the time to do it, or I don't have the money to do it. And people are so amazing. I love how people come up with their own creative ways. You don't tell them what to do. So they're in the culture. This one couple I had, their first date was at the Batman movie. So they started to bid like Elf on a Shelf, where they would hide the Batman throughout the house and stuff back and forth. So one day the woman came home, and you know how you'll have like a wiffle ball hanging from the garage? So she drives in and she sees little Batman like hanging from the ceiling of the garage. So they would do this and just be amazingly creative with it. I loved it.
It's a great idea.
So it forces them to be more creative when we have less resources, so to speak. So it's something that they can do together with one another. And it's always a good indicator. Like if a couple comes in and they're kind of, got the grr face on, and I'll ask about the bids. It's like attorneys that ask questions that they already know the answer to. So usually you know that the bids are on the low side. So that would be a thing that people can do, and it's inexpensive, and it can be creative. And stickies are my favorite. Like you can stick stickies, hence the name sticky. I just realized I said that.
You just realized why they're called stickies just now?
Yeah.
Just in this moment.
Jay. So, yes.
You just figured it out.
Sorry.
Okay. So tell us your sticky sheet intervention.
Oh, this is in part from my good friend Peter Frankel, that it's under 60 seconds and less than $1. And that way, the people have the time to do it and the wherewithal financially to do it. So it also puts people in a position with less resources where they have to do more with less. And people get very, very creative. So stickies are wonderful because you can stick them, hence the sticky name, and you can put them inside of cabinets, on visors, on windshields, inside of coats and purses, briefcases, so that so they have a concrete representation. It's actually kind of a nice thing that people will have, in addition to the phone, obviously. You can use the phone all the time. I had a man that made his own emojis. He didn't know how to do the emoji thing, so he just took pictures of his face, like with different expressions in a sequence, and his wife was like totally mystified. She goes, "What are you trying to say to me?" Because the first one was like, "I love," and he had all these wonderful faces, and the wife is like paging through these things. She goes, "This is actually kind of scary." It's like, "Oh no!" I'm saying, "I love you."
That's cute.
So it's very cute. So people are great and inventive, and you just trust that resource is there, and they just need the context to be able to demonstrate.
That's a great exercise and a great intervention, and so sweet.
Yeah, and people will keep them and put them on the steering wheel. So the phone is wonderful, and the physical stuff is great too.
Yeah, I like that. I'd love to find a sticky note for my husband. It's a surprise.
Right. Yeah,
that's sweet.
People will draw flowers on them, and I tell them to try to do it. Like there's years ago, there was what was the thing that you would go every so many miles, and it would be rhyming, so that have like a little point of tension in it, so that you don't give the whole thing away at first. It would be part of a rhyme, part of a rhyme, part of a rhyme, and then you'd have this da-da.
That's sweet. That's very creative.
Something shade. What was it? Oh my God. I need my old brain to kick in here. But the Burma shade, that was it. You would go down through the south, and they would have every once in a while, what are you thinking? What do you have? Something neat. The shape of blah, 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 and then very Burma shade. So it's like that. I'm sorry I didn't rap like Hamilton. Totally blew.
Okay, we'll get you next time. So just to wrap up, what is one piece of expert advice? I know you've been in practice for 40-something years, but
Yes.
if you could sum it all up in less than one sentence, what would you tell everybody out there listening, all of our viewers on Relationship TV? What's one piece of expert advice you could give?
I would say to be kind to others, you first start by being kind to yourself. And forgive yourself. And then I think what comes from that is the capacity to forgive others and to connect. And also the other thing I would say is to laugh. It's important to laugh. It's one of the things that gets us through life. So do that.
Well, thank you for giving us that gift today and for bringing your wonderful personality and your sense of humor to Relationship TV and to our show today.
Oh, thank you.
Jay Lappin, what a wonderful guest. How can people find you if they want to find out more about you?
On website, and also my office is in West Collingswood, which is just across the river from Philadelphia.
So West Collingwood, New Jersey. And what's the name of your website?
My name.
jlappin.com?
I think it's like www.jlappin.com.
So it's J-A-Y, Lappin, Lappin.com. Thank you so much for joining us today on Relationship TV. I'm Dr. Tammy Nelson signing off. Please join us on relationshiptelevision.com to find out more from our experts on how to make your relationship work.